Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Layla and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of that leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed. And the only correction that we use here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Layla's going to come home with her very own training equipment. You're going to be taught how to use that on Saturday during your follow-up training session. Now she's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Layla heel. So you no longer will be being whipped out of your shoes when you're taking Layla for a walk. She has learned to walk nicely next to your left leg, not forging ahead or lagging behind. And each time that Fred stops his feet, she has been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So when you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone on the street, she should be sitting quietly at your left, waiting for you to tell her what to do next. And the next command that Fred's going to demonstrate is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. You can practice this exercise indoors as well as outdoors, and you're going to lengthen it out from about 30 seconds all the way up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, returning all the way back around to heel. Now, because she got up, he's leaving her in another sit-stay and making her complete the exercise the way it was taught, because she's supposed to sit there until he returns to her shoulders, not get up and spin around. So he made her complete that exercise the way it was taught. And they go back to heeling. He talks to her to keep her motivated and focused. But you don't want to overdo that, because then she'll get overexcited. And she's a happy girl, so she doesn't need to be motivated too much. She enjoys doing her obedience. Lengthen out your sit stays. That's your homework, and your down stays. When Fred, this time instead of returning back to her, Fred will demonstrate the come on command. And she should come right in and sit in front of you facing your knees, not jumping all over you. And then go back to heel. Nice automatic sets. The main thing here is focus, self-control, maturity, listening to commands in spite of distraction, sitting when you stop, being more focused on you than what's going on around her. And this is hard for her because she's got a lot of energy. She wants to be distracted. Fred uses her name, lightens his tone of voice, and calls her in. And she comes right in and sits. So we're going to eliminate the jumping. Anytime that you call her, she's to come and sit to get that praise that she's wanting and needing. Now she knows to come and sit. Now the next commands that we're going to be demonstrating for you are going to be your series of down commands. So the first down command is the down from a heel position. So always with your dog seated first at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Your down stay, you're going to go from about a minute all the way up to 5 minutes. So you are going to want to practice this in the house while you're watching TV. Just put her training equipment on and make her do a down stay. This is good for focus and self-control. When Fred returns back to her, again, he walks all the way around her just as he did on the sit stay. He returns back to her shoulders and he stops, and then she expects him to tell her what he wants her to do. He could leave her in another stay. But remember, if you're going to do a down, have your dog seated first, left open palm straight down toward the ground, the one-word command to down and stay. Fred turns to face her. He looks at her. He makes her stay there. And this time he'll call her out of that downstay. Comes right in and sits. It's all about being a lady. And the very last command that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. So you're going to leave her in a sit stay and you're going to turn to face her. And we're going to be teaching you how to put all of these commands into practical application in your home. Fred's going to use his right hand to give the command and drop her into a down from a distance. And that was beautifully executed. So we have demonstrated for you your girl Layla's formal obedience commands. We have a lot of other things to go over with you when you come to get her on Saturday. She's a good girl. She's done a good job. We thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and we'll see you real soon.